Hey, this is Simon Espina, Director of Vision. Right, I'm going to be talking about everything I did in Vision and why it was put there, just my views. I call it Vision because it's like almost a literal type thing, because he keeps having visions of her, sort of thing, like because he keeps seeing her. So I call it Vision. We're just going to start it off. Yeah, I like the transitions and stuff. Give it a nice, sort of mischief look. Directed by Simon Espina. Yeah, I had a lot of. I like see this is setting the location, 36. Just in the house. And then we got him in there wearing black, and he's sort of sitting at the the head of the table, which is more of a throne as you would see it. He doesn't look so, in charge at the moment, but that's what that seat signifies, and it says, "Yep, hey, I'm coming over." So that's me, the friend, and then there's the mystery box right there. She's sitting in that chair, which is at the side. She's helpless, so she's not there anymore. So that's what those two chairs signify. Here's the close-ups to signify emotion. So that one's sort of back. With the close-ups of the face, he's just sort of rubbing her face. And blur in with the close-ups. Yeah, that's what the seats. They just signify stability or non-stability, and it just closes out, goes into the next scene. The lighting here is more of a light, free, open. So close-ups again, it's still sad, but it sort of gives more of an open because it's outside. Still feels sad, sort of thing. Yeah, blows out. Just mostly with the close-ups, I really emphasize them. So yeah, so it looks around. This part does drag on a bit, but I'm fine with it. I like the way, I'm happy with it. Sort of gets up, sort of just takes sort of almost like a breather. Just looks around, and this is where it starts to build up. He turns around, and she's just standing over there. It goes to him, goes back to her close-ups in slow motion. Slow motion's really good to work for emotion. She walks away. So this is where he starts to see her, and he starts to acknowledge her. So he's running after her now, because in the first few times every time he tried to look at her, she's gone. So he's trying to chase after her again, and she's completely gone. So he's on the rule of thirds. He's on the right. He walks out, and he walks out of focus. And this is where I am introduced. That's me over there, and it's introducing a talking scene where I can just basically explain most of what's going on. So I'm really emphasizing the rule of thirds. So the colouring on him, this is a big scene here. See, the colouring on me is because I'm sitting at the head of the table and I'm stable. I have no problems. His colouring is this sort of bluish dark colours because he's not stable. He's emotional, and the angle on him is going from high to down, high to low. It's just sort of a weaker point of view. For me, it's going from low to high, showing that I'm more stable. The audio in this part wasn't really done well because the microphone's plugged into the camera directly. Didn't have the proper equipment. But yeah, as you can see, the seats have changed. He's sitting in the more helpless seat. I'm sitting in the throne seat. Goes on for a bit.
She's gone.
But that's how I really wanted to put it like that. A good depth of field. I love the depth of field focusing.
If you need me, I will be here.
Change of lens. So close-ups, it's at eye level to put a bit of neutral to it. Same with me. And rule of thirds, close-ups, just to emphasize the emotionalism. Now this part here was him confessing. Now, it might have been hard to understand, but that's how I really wanted it. I wanted it to be more, the viewer needs to think, not to have everything spoon-fed. So right here, you still feel sorry for him, but you don't really want to feel sorry for him after what he says. If you sort of understand the story, you'll understand it from what he says, and you'll think, okay, why did this happen? But the close-up, long shot, I really wanted this effect to pull off, and I reckon it did. I really liked it. Just for him all the way to the right there, giving massive gaps in between speaking, with the music in the background, sort of building it up to the end. The lighting also is sort of the neutral lighting. It's dark, but it's not. It's sort of gradually gone from dark to this bluish, all the way to basically the same color that was on me. So it just shows the character. And then we got another set location, which is the Memorial Park, which is the cemetery. So you got the cemetery here, pan shot. So you're shooting the road with the cars. So it sort of signifies, how she died. He's standing across the road, just still static shots, and then we got the close up, right angle, rule of thirds, pan, all of this. It really, so we got her at the top, so the camera's on the angle, and then him down the bottom. Just all of this really, it brings out the emotional side of the story. So he finally hugs her. He's sort of happy at the same time as sad. This overexposed shot here, I actually did on purpose, as silly as that sounds, because it shows a sign of purity. She's just disappeared, so she's gone for good now. She's what you can say, she's gone to heaven. So now he sits up, he looks over at the road. So now she's died from a car crash. He feels bad, so he's going to commit suicide through the same way. Just looks up. I find this a really good way of ending it. So it lets the viewer create their own ending. Does he get hit by a car? Why was the reason he got hit by a car? Lets them go back and re-watch it. Even if that sounds like a bad thing, going back and re-watching it, I reckon it's a good thing, because people can get more intimate with it. And yeah, that's my views on how I created this film. Thank you.